Today we're going to be looking at some losers. Some guys that got zapped from the 2025 NFL Draft. They're either losing their job soon, or they got more competition, or they need to step it up here in training camp, or this season, or things are going to get nasty for them. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're covering rookies every day. We're looking at Dynasty Trades every day. Mock drafts, rankings, it's all here. It's all free. We're covering clips. More here than any other channel, football-wise. More here than in this Dynasty space. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're starting off here with one of the friends of the channel. And it might be his time. And it is his time. Jaylen Warren. One of the friends of the channel. His dad watches. But I'm sorry, it's probably your time, Jaylen Warren. Because they drafted Caleb Johnson, 3rd round. Big time prospect. 2nd round talent for sure. He's a hammer. He's able to get a lot of the workload. They're going to pound him out. They're going to ride him out. And you're seeing the dip in the market there for Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren, we weren't expecting him to hold down the fort forever. I think he served us well. I think we got more time with the Steelers. He's going to be our bridge to Caleb Johnson. He's going to help you pivot to him here in 2025. You're just not going to be able to keep him off the field. You're just not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to prevent this train from rolling down the tracks. But Jaylen Warren, as what the market's saying, ADP is going to say it too, but it takes forever for these sites to get ADP. It takes ever for these sites to get ADP so we can get some player movement on these values for us to look at here on charts. Caleb Johnson, it's going to be hard to move. This is an offense that has an open spot for him to take over. Like, if he's anything what we saw, like if he's not fake, which I don't think he is, he's taking it over. He's taking it over. Xavier Legette, I don't see him outproducing T-Mac. I don't see him outproducing T-Mac. I see him being a good part of the offense. I'm seeing that 4.3 speed getting some opportunity. If this offense start kicking a little bit more in the passing game, I could expect some volatility, but I don't expect him to outproduce T-Mac. The market's saying that. I don't expect that to happen. The draft capital says it. The Panthers saying it. Hey, this is our man. I expect him to get contested catches downfield, to get those air yards, opportunities, red zone looks. Legette's going to get red zone looks as well. He's going to be moved around. He'll get opportunity. He'll be running routes. He'll be getting some opportunity. But it's not going to hit to that upside. He's not going to develop to a top-tier premier wide receiver. We're looking at a wide receiver coming in that has a much better prospect profile when it comes to production, when it comes to breakout age, and he was a big-time recruit coming out of high school. I get there were circumstances around Legette, but when you watch the tape and how they play the game, you can tell. You can tell it's supposed to happen. You can definitely tell. So he's not really going to lose his job. He's just not going to step into a much larger role. That's what we're going to say about Xavier Legette. Najee Harris, the long-term viability is toast. Look at that chart. The market tanked him. It's Najee tank Harris, and not in a good way. Not in the battle axe way. We're 27 years old, 1-year deal. O'Marion Hampton was drafted in the 1st round. He's going to get pounded out. He's going to get a lot of workload. And Najee Harris right now, if you have him, you might be able to get something out of him for the start of the season, most of the season, maybe lucky a good bit of it. But over time, which isn't going to be too long, O'Marion Hampton is going to get the opportunity to be the dude. He might get signed for a longer deal, and it just be a committee if he plays well, and maybe that's the bright side, or maybe he just moves on. But on this roster with the Chargers, it's hard not to look at O'Marion Hampton and look at this chart and what the market's saying, not shake your head. Matthew Golden. Christian Watson has been hurt too much throughout his career. He's got 4.3 speed, but we rarely get to see it. He's a deep threat who's very volatile. It's your time, young man. Your best ability is your availability, and we're not getting it with you. Here comes Matthew Golden to step in and snatch your job. And Matthew Golden is going to start off being part of that carousel effect, that committee of wide receivers. He's going to build on from there. Christian Watson, when healthy, was a part of that. Got you volatile spike weeks. Christian Watson, that's going to reduce if he's even on the field. We are 25 years old. We can kick it somewhere else over time. But how are you going to beat out another guy that's even faster than you, that they just drafted in the first round? And obviously, evidently, we know this. You're not on the field enough. You're not on the field. So your time's coming. The market's saying that Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. We know what the market's saying. And you guys got to step it up. I'm not even going to say you guys are going to lose your jobs. You guys just got to come in training camp and ball out. And if you don't, you guys are in trouble. Both of you. Travis Etienne, your season wasn't good last year. Tank Bigsby, your rookie year wasn't good last year. You stepped it up in some moments, but you need to step it up more. Tootin's going to come in. He's going to show off that speed and that explosiveness, and it's going to get these coaches excited, especially if you guys ain't pulling your weight to what you're supposed to be. LaQuint Allen's going to surprise you guys. Late round pick, but he's a surpriser. He can grind it between the tackles a bit and catch the ball out of the backfield. If you guys aren't pulling your weights, you're going to be in trouble because they brought in running backs here because you guys weren't pulling your weights. Ramondre Stevenson might be a good buy here. It's not like these guys are dead. Some of these guys might be buys. However, I'm going to make fun of them as well. Ramondre Stevenson, when I look at this backfield, will fit well with Trevion Henderson as a duo, as a tandem. They fit well. But Stevenson also had some moments last year where he wasn't doing so hot. He had some good numbers, some weeks that hit okay, but he also had some moments where he wasn't doing so hot. Contract-wise, we got that deal. However, we got an out after 2026. Hendo's the man up. They're going to be using Hendo. Steve's value is down. He's going to be called Steve until he turns things around. He's good between the tackles, good vision. He's a good all-around grinder back that can catch it. But we got some competition here. I think viability-wise for Dynasty, fine by low, because I think you can use both these running backs and have a tandem. They also showed they wanted to use a tandem last year. They wanted to use more running backs. It's just what they had wasn't horribly efficient. Blake Corum. Now, Kyron Williams is safe. They love him more than their kids. But Jarquez Hunter's good enough to make this a committee if Kyron Williams goes down. So if you have Williams, you want one of these two running backs. It's hard to say both. And now we got more competition in the backfield. And when you did not get many touches last year, and they did not allow Kyron Williams to lead the field, and then they step in and draft Jarquez Hunter, very excited about getting him, and a stacked running back class when there's a bunch more running backs left. That is something to note. They want a bunch of dudes behind Kyron Williams that they can trust, that has potential, because if he goes down, they don't want to be pulling straws again like they did 2 years ago. Now they got that. They do not want a committee of jabronis if something happens to Kyron Williams. That is something they do not want. Hunter versus Corum is a matchup to watch during training camp. You may think that you got a third-round draft pick to Corum that you're like, oh, I don't know about Hunter. No, this is a jacked running back class. Hunter has good tape to his name, and all it takes is a couple good practices, and things shift. Jerome Ford's dead. Jerome Ford's dead. There's no way he beats out Quinshon Judkins. There's no way that's going to happen. He's their next Nick Chubb. Dylan Sampson, there's no way he beats him out. Once he's fully healthy, you're going to get more pop in the step. And you got two tremendous running backs. This team's going to run the football. Jerome Ford's dead. He's done. RB61 for an RB3 right now. Maybe RB2 if he's lucky. RB2 if he's lucky. He's done. He's done. He's the most done so far. Kendre Miller's done. His team hates him. His team hates him. The market didn't move on this. I get it. 6th-round pick, Devin Neal. We already know his team hates him from what we heard in the media. His team hates him. Devin Neal got drafted, and the talent's there. The talent's good. and the talent's going to push Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller, I mean, he's been on the field so little that he could still be considered a rookie almost. He's barely been on the field this whole time. And he was in the 2023 draft class. And they talk bad about him openly in the media. Devin Neal has got an opportunity to zap that RB2 job. And Alvin Kamara, we know that he's going to be there till Father Time says not. Miles Sanders is the gatekeeper of this offense. The gatekeeper of this backfield. You saw that chart trickle up. He's still the gatekeeper of this backfield. He is a training camp dandy. That's where he plays his best ball. When it comes to in-game, it doesn't happen. When you're looking at Jaden Blue here, if we pass Miles Sanders in camp, that could be just him getting hurt, or it could be just they're 1-for-1. They're neck and neck. That's when you should perk your ears up. Phil Maffa as well. They brought in 2 backs. You don't bring in 2 backs because everything's good. Everything's good. And you had so many picks on day 3. Well, you had a lot of picks in the 7th round. You did not have a 4th rounder. And now you're looking at Jaden Blue on the roster with that 4.3 speed next to Miles Sanders, who they got on a cheap contract. Miles Sanders is done. He's done. He's cashed out. Jalen Wright is in trouble. He's not a nuanced runner. He's just not. He's got Miles Sanders as his best comparable, and that makes sense. He's twitched up. He's got speed. He's a home run threat. He can be a Will Fuller of running backs. Ollie Gordon was a hell of a deal. Hell of a deal. Ollie Gordon has the potential to step on this depth chart and compete. They brought in Alexander Madison for a reason. That is another reason to look at Jalen Wright and get nervous. The market's saying that a little bit, but he's young, so they can't dump him all the way. And Ollie Gordon doesn't have the draft capital, but he's got the talent. We've seen it. He's got the size. He's bigger. He's a grinder. He can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield, but they're not going to need him to do it because they got H-N. And if something happens to H-N, they can pound him up the gut. Wright needs to step it up. Jaleel McLaughlin's in trouble. You can throw Audric Estime in there too, but to Estime's case, he's a bigger back. He's a thumper. And his skill set doesn't lend well for fantasy football, but his skill set lends well playing next to a guy like RJ Harvey, who's got speed, gusto, all-around, all-purpose back, who can catch the ball in the backfield. McLaughlin, though, doesn't have much sunk cost. They do like him, but they ain't going to like him as much as RJ Harvey with his speed and pop. Audric Estime, football-wise, is fine. Fantasy-wise, probably going to hover where he's at. Maybe a little better, even. Maybe a little better even. Even with him sharing the workload. He's still a good running back for what he is. But still, RJ Harvey is going to really do some things in his backfield. Wait till training camp. Woody Marks and Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's fine when healthy. Joe Mixon is fine when he's there. But this is also the insurance policy. And also could be the proving statement that when his contract, like you see below me, or below him, goes away, or it's time to move on, or it's time to look at that potential out, and Marks is looking good in camp, or he's stepping it up, and they paid up for Marks because there's just a lot of talent below him. They could have waited. There's opportunity here that things could get dicey for Mixon, especially if Father Time kicks in. He's almost 29 years old. There's could be some injuries down the line for him as we get older. Woody Marks there, and he's a good lunch pail running back. Parker Washington, he had moments, he had opportunities, and he just couldn't cash in. Now comes in Travis Hunter, and him and Brian Thomas Jr., there's nothing left for the rest of the wide receivers. Parker Washington's cooked. That tank should be just doing, that chart should be doing this. It should be doing more than that. Parker Washington is cooked. Is cooked. A 6th round wide receiver in the 2023 NFL draft is going to get cooked by Travis Hunter. It's over for Parker Washington. Quentin Johnston, the clock is ticking. You better make some headwaves in camp. And in season this year, you better do better than what you did last year, even though it was an improvement from your rookie season. You better step it up. You better. The market's saying, oh no, I'm kind of scared of this. Trey Harris is in for some competition with Quentin Johnston as that downfield, big body, contested catch wide receiver. and I'm here to watch it. Johnson better step it up. Tyrone Tracy's going to have to share the backfield. He's fine. He's a good running back and complements Cam Scatterbo well. But we're not going into the 2025 season as the lone wolf. We're sharing the backfield. However, you're catching a dip on value. I would look for even a bigger dip because we're sharing the backfield. Going to be used in the passing game. Going to get opportunity. He's not dead. He's breathing compared to some of these other jabronis. But Cam Scatterbo's here. He's got good vision. He's powerful. He works hard. He works damn hard. He's going to be out there. Tyrone Tracy is going to have a role, though. So he's not dead, but you're not expecting him to be the lone wolf either. Jalen McMillan's got competition in an offense that already has competition, and we're waiting for the vets to get out of the way for these two wide receivers. But Mika Buka was drafted in the first round when there's competition, and that's a sight that's scary for Jalen McMillan for the long term. And as wide receiver 53, expect that to dip even more throughout the offseason. But we got some losers here. Some guys are zapped, some guys are dead, some guys are breathing, but they're sharing some work. Some guys got their insurance policy, but they can't slip up. Some guys did not play well last year. They're ahead on the depth chart, but they can't fuck up anymore. They got to start playing well, and this is the note to them saying, hey, you better step it up or step out. This is the sign to some of these players that we got to look at them pretty hard. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Well, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.